Good morning, dear students. I, Vidyasagar, welcome you all in the e-learning class of Modern International School ISWA. Today I am going to start subject History of Standard 7, and this is fourth video lecture on the topic Towns, Trades and Craft Routes. Dear students, as we have discussed earlier, that how the trade and commerce it was with the different countries it was happening in the earlier times, and nowadays we are discussing about a particular that is about the present day Afghanistan, and earlier times it was known as Kabul. Okay, now in Kabul, as according to the geographical condition, the rugged mountain as well as the landscape which was not most fertile, okay, and due to it less fertility, okay, nowadays it is politically important as well as commercially also important from 16th century onward. So Kabul and Kandahar that were linked to celebrated the Silk Route. It means the Silk Route which was started from China, okay, and it also passes from the mid of the India and moved toward the Western Asia, okay, and that it was going through the Afghanistan, okay, passes through the Afghanistan. So here what we can see that with the Silk Routes, these Silk Routes, dear students, basically it was famous in the earlier times because it was famous for the trade and commerce, okay, as through the Silk Routes the traders used to move from one country to the another country, okay. Now so in beside trade in horses was primarily carried through this route, okay, horses were carried there. And now in the 17th century a traders whose name was Jean Baptiste, okay, Tavernier, he was a diamond merchant, and he told that in Kabul the horse trade was about 30,000 annually, which was a large sum of money at that time, okay. And also the camels who used to carry out the dried fruits, date, carpet, silk, even fresh fruits from Kabul to the subcontinent and also elsewhere. So slaves were also brought here for sale. So you can see how and what kind of the trade and commerce was going on. Beside, we can see that different type of activities was also happening there. Now the crafts in towns, as we know that crafts which was in town, basically the craft person, they used to settle down in the towns. Like one of a town was Bidar, which is nowadays is in Karnataka, okay. So it was famed for its inlay work in the copper and silver ware, okay, where it was known as Bidri. It means it was getting too much fame that it was basically related with its town name, okay. Now basically the Panchals, it means the five type of different type of persons where Vishwakarma community were like the goldsmith, bronzesmith, blacksmith, mason and carpenters. These were the person, as you can say, the Panchals. Five other peoples who used to perform the work in these towns, okay. So they play the important role to making the big palace, big buildings, tanks and reservoirs. Basically similar weavers and such as Saliar and Kai Kolars emerged as prosperous communities. Basically these were the communities which helped and make out lot of buildings and lot of the different things through which they all were being praised. Now they were also making the donation to the temples, like some aspects of cloth making like the cotton cleaning, spinning, dyeing became specialist in the independent crafts. Now as the changing fortune of towns, so some of the towns like the Ahmedabad which is in Gujarat, okay, now it also emerged as a commercial center, okay, like the Thanjavur, okay, which emerged as a temple town, okay. Now Murshidabad in West Bengal, it was also emerged which was on bank of Bhagirathi, okay, which rose to a prominent center for the silk and became the capital of Bengal in 1704, okay, Murshidabad. So declined during Murshid Quli, okay, so and it was declined in course of century. It means within a century it was declined, and the weavers, those weavers who was engaged in the silk production, they were also facing the competition with the cheap mill made cloth from England, okay, because England, as we have discussed, that England, they were brought there when industrial revolution was started in England. They used to produce more and more textile wherever they used to took the raw materials from India, and they used to bring here the finished products, and they used to compete with the Indian weavers, those weavers who were basically fully dependent on their products, okay. Now closer look Hampi, Machilipatnam and Surat. Basically Hampi, which is in Vijayanagar, Karnataka, okay. The architectural splendor of Hampi, यानी कि उसकी जो भव्यता थी, है ना, हम्पी, जिसकी स्थापना की गई थी हरिहर और बुका के द्वारा. बेसिकली इट वाज लोकेटेड इन कृष्णा तुंगभद्रा बेसिन, एंड इट बिकेम द न्यूक्लियस ऑफ द विजयनगर एम्पायर, which was in 1336. Basically what was happened, that these temple towns, these becomes the nuclei, and around that all the different type of markets and all used to be open up, okay. So in this it was a fortified towns. So basically it was mentioned that यहाँ पे जैसे कि देख सकते हैं कि ये किला बंद था, लेकिन यहाँ पे बताया जाता है that no mortar सीमेंटिंग एजेंट्स, यानी कि कोई भी सीमेंट जो है और दूसरे किसी तरह का चीज़ों का इस्तेमाल नहीं किया गया. वेर एवर द बाउंड्रीज इट वाज हेयर, इट वाज विद द लॉक पैटर्न, यानी यू कैन से द इंटरलॉकिंग पैटर्न, ओके, यानी कि एक दूसरे से जो है वो जुड़ा हुआ था. इसी शैली में जो है यहाँ के दीवारों का निर्माण किया गया था, ओके. सो अबाउट द हम्पी, it was a Portuguese sailor, Domingo Pace. He was telling that it was like the entrance gate. Those who pass come from Goa, and the king has to made within a very strong city, fortified with walls and towers. These walls were not like those in the other cities, okay, and but made very strong masonry such as would be found in few other parts. And inside very beautiful rows of buildings after their manner with flat roofs, okay. So here what we can see, that by the Domingo's Pace, he was telling that how beautifully, wherever we can think that it was fortified, but it was fortified in such a way that it looks well, okay. Dear students, read the paragraph and keep watching. Thank you.